Evening, friends. God bless you. We have started this new series to understand evolution that we are studying from very early childhood. According to evolution theory, 20 billion years ago, the Big Bang happened, the universe came in existence. About 4.6 billion years ago, Earth was formed, and 30 million years ago, humankind, evolved in a complex organism from a very simple organism in the beginning. Well, Bible, if you read Genesis, you can see that uh, God created heavens and earth and and everything that is on the earth and in the universe. And according to Bible, the earth is about 6,000 years ago, and about 4,400 years ago, the big flood, we call it a Noah's flood, came. How you explain the big difference from evolution timeline to creation timeline that is in the Bible? Today we are going to start talking inverse square law. It's a law I'm trying to explain in a very simple form. The closer the inverse square law is related to two object that has mass or material, and you see that Earth. Suppose this big white ball is Earth, and a smaller ball, orange, is Moon. Then the Moon rotates around the Earth, and the distance from the Earth, the distance of Moon from the Earth, is responsible for the tide on the Earth. And science has proved and knew that the Moon is moving away from Earth up about 4 centimeter every year. So this year, Moon would be 4 centimeter away from Earth. So if you go backwards, that means Earth 10 years ago, Moon would be closer. 100 years ago, Moon would be more closer. So if the Earth is 5.6 billion years ago, forget about 5.6 billion. If Earth is just 1.4 billion years ago, the Moon would be very next to Earth. We know that that is not true. If Moon is very next to Earth about 1.4 billion years ago, then there would be a massive, massive tide. And how you can explain? And this kind of things we are not learning. We are taught the evolution theory, but the relevant information we are not learning. Talk about the comets. We have so many comets in the space. Now every year the comet by nature loses its material. So if you look at any comet, they cannot last more than 10,000 years. By the time they have lost all the material. So if the Big Bang happened about 20 billion years ago, why we are seeing comets here today? The comets should have been gone by this time. That proves that Earth is not 4.6 billion years old. The scripture says that Earth was formed about 6,000 years ago. Talk about the Earth magnetic field. You know that the magnetic field we have is less than, has been decreased by 10% from 150 years ago. So whatever the magnetic field was 150 years ago has been reduced by 10% today. So if you calculate that way, then 4.6 billion years ago, because we still today have a magnetic field, that proves that Earth is not that old. Otherwise, we should not have a magnetic field today, because by the rate it is losing its strength. Actually, scientists predict that by year 3991, the Earth will lose all its magnetic field. And the decay is exponential, that in that case, if you take that account, the earth will lose its strength, magnetic field strength, by 1400 years ago from now, or after 1400 years from now. That means we still have the magnetic field today. It does not justify that earth is 4.6 billion years ago, as evolution theory teaches us. Talk about the Coriolis effect. That is another thing, that the Coriolis effect in a simple form is responsible for the wind pattern on the earth. The wind pattern is Coriolis effect is responsible for the wind pattern and how strong the wind is blowing. Now, earth is slowing down. The spinning of earth is slowing down by millisecond each year. So if you calculate backwards, that means about few years ago, earth was spinning little faster. 100 years ago, earth was spinning more faster. So if just talk about, if earth was 4.6 billion years old, it must be spinning so fast that on earth there would be at that time the wind gust, or the wind intensity would be 5,000 miles per hour. If that time wind is blowing 5,000 miles per hour, how any organism can even develop? It will be thrown out in space immediately. That proves again, Coriolis effect proves that earth is not that old. How about a prevailing wind pattern? Prevailing wind pattern means the wind flows in the same direction. And talk about the desertification, the how deserts enlarge. The Sahara Desert, the biggest one, is about 4,000 years old. If earth is old, we should have older desert, which we don't. Last thing I wanted to point out today is some of the oil that we have found in earth crust. At that place, there is some places we have found a pressure about 20,000 psi, pound per square inch. If that much pressure is there, the earth crust, the rocks, could not hold more than 10,000 years. It is just like a pressure cooker. The pressure will blow it off. But we have found oil still inside the earth. That proves earth is not that old. Friends, all these facts, what I listed here, you can Google it and found it. We learned about the evolution theory, but we don't learn about the supporting facts that are proving otherwise. So Bible says that God created heavens and earth. If you calculate, creation story says that 6,000 years ago, God created heaven and earth. And that proves everything. It explains the prevailing wind pattern. It explains the Coriolis effect. It explains the magnetic field on earth. It explains about comets. It explains about inverse square law. We just need to connect the dots. And that the universe, the creator of universe, wants to have a relationship with you and me as a father and son, or father and daughter. God bless you and thank you.